So first we erase around the hood, around the hoodie. So that's just his face. And yeah, the alignment needs to be adjusted quite a bit. Bring it up here. So that's more like it. Okay. So bring the opacity down so we could see how it lines up with there. Looks like the eyes need to be a little bit to the left. There we go. Maybe a little leaning to this way. And okay. Let's erase a little bit more here. Now let's bring the hardness of the eraser down so that it's not like a solid chip off the old block here. We want to have it kind of smooth here so it blends with the face of the deer. Move this around here this way. We're going to erase around the head. And I may need to separate different facial features to align with the line with the deer more. I may have to move his mouth toward the deer's mouth and slant the eyes a bit. So let's duplicate layers. Let's duplicate that layer. Name it mouth. And just erase this. Oops, not too much. But erase this around here. And there we go. Maybe I should have included the nose. Let's include the nose. Why not? That's more like it. See, this deer is wearing an alpha mask. All right. Now, let's bring the eyes back. So let's erase around that so that the eye layer and the mouth and nose are separated. You got to keep them separated. I'm definitely going to need to separate the eyes from each other too. So let's duplicate this layer here. Left eye. And then this other layer, right eye. So now I have the right eye selected. There's some parts of this layer that I didn't erase. So let's delete this layer and erase this layer so that when I duplicate it, it will properly be the way we want it. So let's erase down here and presto. Now, let's bring the right eye here. Duplicate. Left eye. And let's bring along here. And on this layer, we erase around here. And on this layer, we erase here. That's much better. All right, so we're going to do some color correction on these so that it matches the deer. So let's bring up the color balance. Actually, no, let's start with hue saturation. Actually, no, because that's affecting every layer, so never mind. Let's save that for later. Thank you, Amber. Much appreciated. So, what I really need to do is get the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. I hope everybody's having a fine, relaxing evening. So, let's see. I gotta erase more on this layer, it appears like. What did you just walk into? Some memes. Some happy little memes. It's important to stay hydrated, especially in these days. Let's erase a little more around here. Give it a little more precise. That's what I'm loving. Not what you expected. What exactly did you expect, young Marty? They say curiosity killed the cat, but curiosity helped the Afro man keep his heart going. Good question. Well, that's mighty nice of you. Now, apparently, I need to make the mouth wider. So let's do that. There we go. Now, now I think it's time to bring on the hue saturation. We want to create a clipping mask because that means that this effect will only affect a specific layer I'm working on. His fur appears to be a little bit blue, so we're going to make him a little bit blue too. And not that blue. I don't want to mess with the hue too much. Really want to do more of this in color balance. Again, got to create the clipping mask so it only affects this layer. Have it match the fur. But not necessarily precisely. Now we gotta find a way to blend his face into it. So first off, we gotta do a little bit more erasure out here. Bring the hardness down and the size up. And then we got to use a bit of a burn tool because his skin is much brighter than that of the deer. We want to match it. And I have the wrong layer selected. Now, since you could see the nose and the mouth of the deer, we're going to do two things. We're going to move his mouth back over to over here. And we're also going to erase this. So what we got to do is use the clone stamp tool. What that does is it copies parts of these and pastes them like this. Very common technique in Vogue magazine. Very good way to remove blemishes too. Alright, so now let's make the mouth a little bit down, bring the opacity down a bit. And then let's lock the pixels so we only paint over the pixels. We're going to select this color. Always good working with varieties of color. That's too much. We need to bring the opacity of the brush down so that even more. Just enough so that the color blends with the deer. And then we're going to sharpen it. That's more like it. That's looking pretty good so far. Now we gotta do a little bit of final touch-ups on the mouth. Maybe not there. Actually, that's not going to work. Maybe what we really need to do is adjust the color balance a little more. There we go. Now let's do the same thing with the eyes. So let's bring the color balance into the left eye and create a clip-in mask so that it only applies to the eye. Let's erase around the left eye. We got to bring the hardness up so that it can be crystal clean and sharp. There we go. Now it looks like he has an eye and it looks legit. Let's tinker with this a little bit more. There we go. Maybe sharpen it just a tad with the sharpen tool. I didn't have it selected. Let's, there we go. Now it's sharpen it. Now it looks like it's part of it. Now let's go over to the right eye and do the exact same thing. We're going to erase around there and here. You feel so welcome. That makes me very happy. As happy as the happy little accidents that we will make frequently throughout the night. Now let's make the clipping mask so it applies to the right eye. And just add a sharpen tool. Gotta select that. And there we go. Oh, my color. Looking good so far. The eyes look very good. Now we just need to do a few more touch-ups on the nose and mouth because it looks like it still doesn't look like it's part of the deer. We need to fix that. So we need to erase around here. So I just discovered a little bit of a happy little accident over here, and that is we painted around here. So we need to find another fixture here. And the way we do that is we're going to duplicate the background. We're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to duplicate the background. Are you going to use my image? I probably will. Let's see, background 2. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use a little masking technique where we erase around here. Actually, we need to undo that. Just erase the eyes first. So we got that on lockdown. That's much better. Now let's bring the opacity down a bit. Maybe not that much. And we're going to erase this mask so that it only reveals the mouth and the nose. Not much beyond that. And let's use clone stamp. And go back to the eraser, bring the hardness down just a smidge so that there's some little blend into the deer. Would you look at that? Alpha the deer. We're going to put two faces into the crewmate and the imposter that's stabbing out the crewmate. So first of all, let's crop this a little bit to make it more focused on the action at hand. And then we're going to use 2 pictures for this. I just need to find the other, and then we're going to get started. So we're going to have T-Man. We're going to have T-Man be the crewmate. And we're going to have Jay be the imposter. This is going to be fun. Okay, so first we got to do is move them out of the way. And let's select the background. Actually, we're going to bring it to the forefront. I'm going to bring it to the forefront and select these right here. And we just got to duplicate the layer. And then after we delete these on the top layer, you can see, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. If you remove this, you can see that they're invisible. So let's just take this brush here and go and just beat the devil out of it. Now we're going to bring the faces back to the forefront. We're going to start with Jay. We just need to size him down. And then we bring T-Man back. That's more like it. And then we bring him down to here. Oops. There are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. Remember that. Alright, now for the tricky part. We gotta bring this up here, bring it back, but then bring the opacity down. So that you can see through the glass. Now let's think of a great font for this. J is sus. We want something nice and fancy here. Let's change the color to something that stands out. Well, let's go with a bit of a crimson red and apply some drop shadow, because right now it's unreadable. So let's apply some drop shadow. We go to layer, layer style, drop shadow. J is sus. Now that's a lot more readable right there. Let's make it even more. Make it even more readable. There we go. Now let's decide on the font. We could have a Sega font. We could have GoldenEye font. Breath of the Wild font. Maybe traditional Zelda font or scary font. It is Halloween, so let's go with scary font. J is sus. Let's stretch this out here. And let's make it a little more fancy. Let's rasterize this so that we can warp it. So we do the transform select, right click and click on warp, and we can stretch it out like that. Mighty fine. Okay, and now we gotta not erase, but darken the sides so that the middle stands out more. So apparently the we're on the eraser tool. That's why we want the burn tool. Now, and the burn tool is not responding there either. We're figuring this out as we go along, which is perfectly fine. Let's select the brush with black and just paint the outsides. Just a little bit of that out here. It's on a separate layer, so we can always adjust the intensity of it afterwards. So we're going to take the opacity and bring it down, not that much, but maybe here. And then we're going to brighten the center. Just a little bit of the exposure, but not too much. Just enough so it stands out more. Only a teeny tiny bit. Now it looks dark and grim. It's perfect for Halloween. Jay is sus. Second meme of the night complete. Okay, so we got our fox and we got EdaFox. Let's get to work, shall we? Random fact. I was, believe it or not, a military drill sergeant, but no one ever believes that because of how chill my show is. Okay, so let's rasterize this layer right here. Where are you, rasterize layer? There we go. So first we do is line our face up here. That fox looks so fluffy. It is quite the fluffy fox. One happy little fox. Oops. Just happy little accidents. What do you think? Should I keep some of the hair? I think that's a good idea. We'll experiment with it. So first we gotta bring the opacity down so we can line it up properly. Okay, now we bring the opacity back up. I'm interested for this end result, not gonna lie. I don't know. I'm very excited for it myself. Okay. First we got to, maybe we do need to erase the hair actually, or maybe we don't. Maybe we, actually we do, because most of the hair is cut off at the top. But then again we could use the stamp tool to copy some of it over and add volume. A lot of repetition. Like, I'm not a big fan of, like, adding more to the edge with the stamp tool. But it was a nice idea to experiment. Well, let's just erase around here because we know we're not going to need that. Bring the opacity back down. Not that much. We want to see somewhat of what we're doing. There we go. Let's duplicate this. We're going to separate them. So this bottom layer is going to the mouth and nose. And duplicate a layer again. Left eye and right eye. So let's get rid of all these. The mouth and nose. Gotta erase all that. We still have the rest of the face and the other duplicate layers. We want this to align with the nose of the fox. So, a little bit of little graphics out here that I didn't erase, and same with out here. That's better. I say it's looking so far so good. So, need to erase around here too. Just relax, everything is fine. There are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. Every day is a good day when you paint, or in this case, meme. Okay, let's bring back the right eye. We're going to erase around the eye. We want to keep the eyebrows and everything we have going on here. There we go. And then with the left eye, let's bring the eraser size up. Well, maybe not that too much because it bleeds over when the hardness is turned down. And bring the hardness back up and the size down so we can erase more closely and tightly around the eyebrow and the eye itself. Nice and easy. Looks like I missed a few spots. Let's bring the right eye back. Oh, we missed a lot of spots. I saw some spots reappearing. That's more like it. just need to bring the eye more here. We don't want it to tilt too much because we want the eyes to look like they match. And now we're going to adjust the color. Adjust the color of the eye. So bring that color balance. We got to apply a clipping mask, so otherwise it changes the entire picture, and we don't want that. Just enough so it matches the fox, so it looks like it belongs. Let's bring the size of this down to about 3 pixels, so we can. Did not want to erase on color balance. Uh-oh. Did not mean to do that. We did not want to get into camera raw. We wanted to just erase around here. Alpha, we are working on EdaFox. Never want to go into raw. Camera raw is not a bad tool, but we don't want it for what we're doing here. Okay. Now around the other eye. Looks like when I was undoing many steps, we lost what we did in color balance, so we're going to have to redo that. Indeed we did. We even lost the clipping mask. We got to bring it back. Yeah, as you can see, that eye actually looks like it's part of the fox, whereas this one does not because of the difference in color. This one blends and this one does not. New profile pic for Eda. Also, Nasenheimer context. Now let's copy this layer and paste it over the right eye. Bring a clipping mask so it works. We're going to have to make some minor adjustments to this. And we're also going to have to do some closer erasing. So we're going to erase this right here. And then we're going to erase around here and right here. That's much better. Now the right eye is looking a lot more like it's a part of the fox, but the left eye needs a little work. You can see a lot of human eyelid. We want to look a little bit more fox-like while the eye looks more human-like. It's a bit of a challenge, but it's doable. I'm just going to carefully erase around here. There we go. That's more like it. So those are Eda's eyes. Now let's bring back the mouth and nose. This is where the tricky part comes into play. Okay. So let's erase around the lips and the nose. Actually, we're going to need to, I think we're going to need to separate the nose and the, yeah. We're going to need to separate the mouth and the nose and bring them closer together so it looks more like fox proportions. So let's do that. Duplicate layer, nose, and mouth. Now let's bring the mouth layer down a bit and make it visible for a second. Let's erase the mouth around here. Wait a minute. Why did it do that? I was using the wrong tool. Okay. Now back to the mouth. Just erase around there so we only have the mouth and none of the skin surrounding it. I love this segment. It needs to be a weekly thing. It may be a regular thing, actually. Let's just keep it a fox nose with her human lips and eyes. This is going to need some mouth adjustments, but we are getting there. EdaFox. I'm going to make Drake the T-Rex. I'm going to make Nick the ape. And I'm going to make Jenya the woman on the rock. Okay, so we got Drake and we got Nick. And we got Jenya. So here's our picture of Drake. This is going on the T-Rex right here. Here's our picture of Jenya. That's going on the one on the rock, and our picture of Nick going on the gorilla. This is going to be amazing. There are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. Okay, rasterize layer. Not that much, but we erase around him, and we got to erase a little more because we missed the corners. It's always the damn corners. Jenny's probably working tonight or streaming. Yeah, she probably is. So Nick is going on here. So we got the base of it. And then Jenya, we erase around her face as well. Rasterize here so it doesn't make a loud noise in your ears. Rasterize layer. Perfect. Miss a spot. That's much better. And now D-Rex. Rasterize so we can erase. Got to keep that hair. It's essential. It is essential for this. Jenya's face with Drake's beard. Oh, I need to see that. Yes. All right, so let's bring Drake. Select Drake again. She looks good with a beard. She does. Who doesn't look good with a beard? Shaving is illegal. Alright, so Drake is going to be the toughest, but also the fairest. Just erase around here. Already looking mighty fine. Now we just get around the hair here. And yeah, oh, that's too much. Let's bring the size of the eraser down. I'm liking this a lot. All right, let's bring the opacity so we can line them up more. We don't want to see any of the actual dinosaur's head. So we want to cover that up. Looks like I'm going to need to use the clone stamp tool. so that we can get rid of the chin. Then we got to erase around the side because there was still some background. And then we got to adjust the color. Bring up the color balance. Put a clipping mask. We're going to adjust the color of Drake's head so it matches the dinosaur a bit more. Give it a nice brown. We got to experiment with the color. Go with a little bit of crimson red or forest green, because we see a little bit of blend in each of them, even though they're quite contrasting to each other. So that's a bit of a challenge. Okay, so I discovered the root of the problem on this right here. We gotta go back to the stamp tool on the back layer. Just copy these. Oops. Copy these over so it just looks like his body and not his head. That's much better. Now, we're going to go back to Drake in a bit, but first let's move on to Nick. Anyway, let's bring the opacity down a bit. Now, whoa, that is one. It looks like the tooth is growing out of his right nostril a little bit. Actually, if I move it over, now it looks like it is. But that's not exactly what I'm trying to achieve here. What we're trying to achieve here is a little bit more on the. Let's bring the opacity back up. So we got to erase around the forehead. And we're going to bring saturation down, because the level of saturation of the background is far less than our amazing participants here. Oh, it's actually in here. Hue saturation. Oh, I did it twice. Great clipping mask. Let's bring the saturation down just a little bit. And then we take our brush and we just beat the devil out of it. Erase around the side so it blends. And then we got to make the face invisible so that you can see more of the fur behind and not the eyes of the actual ape. Now let's see how it looks with that. That's a bit better. All right, now let's add some color balance. Get the right amount of color. So let's yeah, we want it to blend with the background. A little bit more to this thing. That's looking pretty good. Now, we're going to want to duplicate this layer, bring it to the forefront, and just erase the entire thing. So that it's only the face. All right. We now have to erase around here. This is only so that the fur blends over. It's a new command, Gary. It's a new command. All right. Now we're going to copy this over to the forefront. That may be a little bit too much. We may just use a bit of eraser here. As soon as I saw this artwork, I knew right away we need to bring the opacity of this eraser down even more. Just a subtle blend. Now let's, we're going to need to get rid of the mouth here. Oh, that looks even scarier without the teeth. Let's use a burn tool to make it darker and blend more with the background. That's too much. Let's size it down. Maybe a little bit more there. That's still too much. And let's go to the background and burn that too. That's looking good. That's looking good. Hashtag just Keith things. Probably find yours without consulting me. Well, Nick, if I find out he's doing it, I'll kick his ass for you. All right, so we got Nick here. Now let's go on to Genia. Awesome. This is going to be a tricky part because there's not much room on the face because she's not even showing her face. So this is going to be a bit tricky. We got to erase around. We're going to erase the hand, the hair, and part of the face too. That's going to be a bit of a challenge. All right, so oops. Let's lock this layer so that doesn't happen again. Where are you? Where's the lock? Oh, there it is. In fact, let's lock all these layers that we're not working on. And just erase there. Any pixels we might have mixed. There we go. Oops. Another happy little accident. So let's sharpen the edge of this eraser here. And bring the opacity down so we can see where to have the hair cut off. And it's still too much. Maybe we need to erase the side here too. Just a little bit of Genia in the mix. We got to personalize it somehow. There we go. That's more like it. And we got to darken it because there's a lot of shadow going on here and suddenly it's bright here. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? Not at all. Yeah, apply that shadow. Actually, maybe not use a burn tool. Maybe use the exposure tool. Let's try the exposure tool. Oh, concrete clipping mask so it doesn't apply to the whole thing. And we are going to want to use the burn tool for some of it though, but only the sides so that we have shadows from the hair. And the dodge tool to brighten the rest of it. What would you like? All right, so maybe erase a little bit more here and darken it just a little bit more. Now it looks like it's part of it. And last but not least, let's get Drake in the mix. Now how we're going to do that, we got to first disable layer. Let's get rid of the face of the dragon. Oops, wrong tool. We want the clone stamp tool. Make this a little bit bigger. Because we want to erase around the edges of Drake's face, and when we do that, you're going to see part of the T-Rex face, and we want the D-Rex instead. So let's bring the leg up a little bit. There we go. Guess I didn't need to do any of that, but it's fine. Let's bring the size down. You like the chicken farm? Let's erase around here so you can see the more of the claw. I'm almost tempted to just leave it like that, but I want to make it a little bit more convincing. So let's bring the hardness down. So that is why we erased around the T-Rex so we can have our D-Rex. Well, we're a happy little family here. We understand each other. All right, so let's erase around the face a little more. Maybe we want to actually turn this around a bit so it fits better. Yeah. Not that. I think it will turn out better once we color correct it. So that it's... Maybe we want to desaturate it. I did not want hue saturation. Oh wait, no, I did want hue saturation. I just want to bring the saturation down. Maybe just hue just a little bit. Like, oh, actually that's looking pretty good. So let's that's much better. That is much better. Garlic bread sounds really good. Everybody please go follow the mighty Drakonis. He is a phenomenal streamer and a dear friend of the channel. And from what I heard from FamKam, He's really funny. And from what I can see, he's really funny too. All right, so let's erase around here. We're going to want to get rid of this right here, maybe. Actually, no. Let's use the same technique we did before. Duplicate the layer and bring it over Drex and erase around it. Nope. And that's our finished product right there. Thank you, whoever added that nipples command. That is mighty. That is mighty. It's mighty Drakonis. It's mighty necessary. So we apparently this technique didn't work for this part. So let's just get rid of it entirely. Instead, we're just going to continue around erasing around. Oh, God. Maybe not use the hair and just use the face. That's fine. At least, you know what we can do, actually? Let's go back a bit. I have a better idea. Let's restart. Let's restart with Jake. Because I have another plan. We have a very special guest in common. Keith knows how to accentuate my good features. Yeah, he should have taught me. Dara. We got Sarah in the house. That is awesome. We're happy to have you, Sarah. My name is Bob of the Bob Rosses. Okay, so first we erase around here. I missed a lot. So down here and around here. A little more here. And to the side. Keith has no clue what's going on. He doesn't, but you know, I'm filling in for him because he could not make it tonight. Where'd you get that picture? It was from Pixabay. Just go on Pixabay and type T-Rex and it will come up in the search. Oh, you mean your picture? I think it was Instagram. Yeah, it was Instagram. Drake and Jenny's pictures came from Instagram and Nick's came from Google. Because, you know, he's famous. Alright, so let's separate this. Gotta keep them separated. So, mouth. Why did it do that? Oh, I know why I did that. I know why I did that. Let's release clipping mask and erase this. I prefer a Caesar salad with extra pepper. That sounds pretty good. No, I'm hilarious. Alright, so let's move D-Rex if it will let me, which apparently it's not. Let's create a clipping mask here and a clipping mask here, and let's lock these layers so like they can't move, and this one can. Alright, back to normal. Now we can duplicate the layer. D-mouth. Yes, I did call it D-mouth. Let's race around the sides so you can see more of the you can see the claw. That means this beard is going to be thin, but at least it matches the shape of the mouth context. Now let's rock hard, and let's erase around here. Okay, so these are, the nose goes right here. This is going to be all weird looking, but that's fine. D nose. And now, last but not least, D's nuts. The eyes, the eyes. We got Smitty in the house. How's it going, Smitty? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the stream. I'm your host, Bob Ross. FamKam is out for the night. So let's erase the nose. Get the eyes going. Everybody, please go follow Smitty ASMR. He is a phenomenal ASMRist and rocks the fedora like a boss, and is a savant at the Rubik's Cube. I don't have my Rubik's Cube in front of me. And FamKam took his with him somewhere. I don't know where, but let's erase around the eyes. Thanks, Mr. Ross. My pleasure, Smitty. There are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. I may need to separate the eyes, but we shall see. I do need to separate the eyes, so let's do that. Let's left eye and right eye. So let's erase this eye. These are Drake's eyes that are going on the D-Rex. Maybe make the eye a little bit bigger so you can actually see the eye. There we go. Now for the left eye. over here. And the right eye come out a little bit more so they match. That does look better. Alright, let's rotate the D mouth so that it fits what we have going here. Let's bring the size and hardness down, context. And bring the opacity of the eraser down too. So that it blends much better. What have you returned to? Alright, so let's copy the right side of the D mouth over the left side of the D mouth because it's missing some facial hair, and that is a crime. Can you zoom in on Nick? Yes, I can. If he was a Gen Z meme ASMRist. Alright, so let's do, speaking of which, we need to do some erasure around here because the layer's locked. Okay. It's not even letting me do that. What if I unlock that? Maybe if I use the burn tool. It's not responding at all. Oh, I think I know why. Yeah, I know why. Because this thing needs let's see if that worked. Now we're talking. Much better. Now that fits. Let's see if we need the nose for D-Rex. Let's bring the opacity back up in full. Nope. Yeah, let's maybe the nose works. I don't know. I'm not entirely feeling the nose. Maybe just a little bit nose right there. Yeah, why not? Add the nose. Okay. A couple more steps to take. Let's create clip and mask. Right there. And then let's make a couple more adjustments to the mouth. So that it matches. Okay. Now to the nose. We want some hue saturation on this, and upgrade clipping mask. Let's bring the size of the nose a bit so you can see it. Now we want to add some color balance. Let's cheat a little bit and copy it over here. That already looks pretty good, but it needs a little bit of adjustment. Now we need to bring the opacity down with the nose so it blends more. Only a tad, and then we'll erase around the edges. And then darken it with burn tool and lighten the middle with the dodge tool. So you can see the nostrils clearly. And now let's adjust the hue ever so slightly. That's more like it. Maybe the nose should actually go over a little bit, which means we need to move the back. We need to move all this over a little bit so it looks like he's actually facing more towards us. That's much better. And last, let's make some final adjustment with the eyes. So how do we do that? We got to add a hue saturation to these. First, let's merge these layers. Now we can create a clipping mask first and foremost. So that only adjusts the eyes. Now we bring them here so they fit the face better. And we're gonna race around. Now to give it a sense of depth, we need to use the burn tool on the top, so it gives it a nice feel of shadow. Yeah, maybe I did that a little too much. Let's bring the exposure of it down. So let's bring it down to 6% instead of 21. That should be fine. Now erase around the eye here. Now it looks like it's his eyes. More and more. Now we need to go back to the D mouth and sharpen it a bit. Because it was a bit faded there. And Sharpen the eyes and nose. Maybe not so much the nose, but the eyes definitely. Where are you, eyes? Can't seem to find... Oh, there they are. That's more like it. And we finish it up by taking a brush and just beat the devil out of it. It's a masterpiece. That being said, folks, thank you so much for joining in tonight. One last beat the devil out of it. But we'll see you tomorrow, and until then, stay chill.